Welcome to the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast. I'm your host, Frank Ray. We are brought to you by the Mortgage Marketing Animals. Of course, I'm here with my very dear friend, Ginger Bell. It's been a minute. How you doing, Ginger?
I'm doing great. How are you? Always good to see you. Always
Uh,
good to catch up.
yeah, it is. Yeah, I saw you popped up on Facebook for something. I thought, Ginger Bell, have not, chatted with you in a while. So I thought we got to get on a podcast
It's
and
been a hot
explore
minute.
what's going on. And so in the green room, we were chatting real briefly, and you're like, "Man, I got 5 events coming up and all this stuff." And first of all, good for you. Okay. I am like, people might notice, boy, you never see Frank at an event anymore, and you won't. Just so you know, right? I'm over the event thing, but you're still going. A lot of people still go. Carl's still doing events, man. He's still
Yeah.
running around, and events are great. It's just for me, I just kind of I just kind of burned on them, and I was just like, "Wah." But you've got five coming up right here pretty soon. I think you said five. Is it
Yeah.
five? So you got five coming up, and it's regarding leadership. What does that mean, leadership? What's going on?
So great question. So last year I did a collaborative book that was called Leadership Matters, and I did it with Fabi Nagmi, and that whole book came about because I did an event for him on marketing, and we were just talking about leadership and what that means. So it's a great question. What does leadership mean?
Hmm.
And so, beginning with just that basic, he and I started having a conversation. What is leadership and does it matter? And he came up with the title for the book, Leadership Matters. And we had 25 authors in the book from all over. I mean, all different um, types of business. We had uh, uh, Barry Habib wrote our forward for us. We had Sue Woodard. We had loan originators. We had business owners, and the conversation was all about having an impact as a leader.
Hmm.
And so, like Mike Mills, he's a sales manager out of Dallas, Texas, and his chapter was being a leader of one
Hmm.
and what that looks and finding leadership within yourself. And it was interesting going through that process. And the first meeting that we did with all of the authors, and we had people from across the country, and it was just a conversation about what does leadership look like. What does it
Hmm.
look like? What does it look like for our industry? What does that look like for your organization?
Hmm.
What does it look like in your family? What does it look like in your community? And it was such a great conversation and to just start exploring that. And the thing that we came away from at the end of this collaborative book that we did, and everyone wrote a chapter. We launched it at NAM National last year in October, became a bestseller in 3 different categories. And what we found is people really wanted more. And they wanted some direction on leadership and what it means to be a leader. And we found, especially in the mortgage industry, and we've seen this, that oftentimes people get promoted to the position of manager, whether it's a regional manager, branch manager, whatever, because they're good at sales. Doesn't mean they're good at leading.
True. Yep. Absolutely true.
And it's a different skill set.
Hmm.
And so, when you think about the personality and the drive of a loan officer,
Hmm.
um, and to translate that into being a good manager, and manager is, I mean, there's a difference between being a manager and being a leader. A
Hmm.
manager is a position you're getting given.
Right.
A leader is something you earn to be
Hmm.
able to have people follow you.
Hmm.
And so from that, I actually just started doing a lot of writing on it. Actually, I have an entire section for Housing Wire
Hmm.
that I write for them every week just on leadership.
Hmm.
And so it's really been exploring this. And so that's what prompted a lot of these events is just, having that conversation about leadership. Not a lot of people are exploring it and how can we develop leaders within our industry?
Hmm. Interesting. So, so basically, the book catches fire, right? And people reach out to you. and say, will you come and give
Yeah.
us insights about this? So that's
Yeah.
basically what happened.
Yeah. And I'm doing everything from a 1 hour, keynote to we're doing a 4 hour workshop.
In your presentation, are you basically bringing up the things? Obviously, you're saying this is the book, this is what we learned, and here's some highlights of it. Or
Yeah.
how do you convey what leadership is
Yeah.
because you wrote the book? Yeah.
So, and the book was a collaboration. So, a lot of different people contributed to that. So, really, the session that I'm doing doesn't have to do with the Matters book. It's actually really about developing leadership within. And so, when you look, and I'm using four different books, so not the leadership book, but I'm using four different books to be able to have people have some context to take away after the session to continue to build leadership.
Mm,
And so those four different books work on really the four different areas that you need to develop in order to be a good leader.
mm,
The first book is one that I've read a couple times. It's by James Clear. It's Atomic Habits. And
sure. Yeah.
so you have to develop the right habits
Mm.
in order to be a successful
So this
leader.
is the first out of
Is
four.
first out of four. And
Mm.
so that's one of the segments is talking about that. How do you develop those good habits? And how do you help others to develop those good habits?
That's a good one. I think that's where a lot of people who find themselves in a position of leadership, that is a big struggle. Helping others develop habits. That's a
Yeah.
tough one.
Yeah. So it's beginning with that.
Yeah.
And then what are the important habits? I mean, you go through that every day that you're, with the loan officer breakfast club,
Mm,
mortgage marketing animals. It's
mm,
developing that, right? It's a
mm,
daily success plan
mm,
of being able to do that. And then the second book is by Dale Carnegie. And,
mm.
I had the pleasure of being a training consultant for Dale Carnegie
I
early.
remember. Yeah. Great stuff.
And
Which
so
book?
it's How to Win Friends and Influence People. I
One of
mean,
my all-time favorites.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
read that like 5 times.
Yeah, and it is. It's one you can go back and it's like, oh man,
Right.
that's good. And so
Yeah.
it's basing off of those
Mm,
principles of being able to, inspire others to be
mm,
able to have that ability to communicate clearly.
mm,
And so that's the second book. And then the third book is by Dan Sullivan,
mm.
and it's 10 times is easier than two times. And that is a book. I just started reading that book this year. And there's some video. I'll send you some videos because some of Dan's videos are great to watch. But he talks about really taking your growth to the next level. And some people, talk about just not going as far as they can go. And so that's the
Mm.
whole idea. It's like if you think about and he talks about when we go into growth, and some people know that, it's like they have to do something different in order to grow or to have their goals or to, be able to reach more. And so oftentimes what we'll do, and this is the two times he talks about, that two times growth, is you go back and say, okay, what's the minimum I need to do in order to get to this? I mean, I know I'm doing this much, but what if I just did this much? Would that get
Mm,
me there?
mm.
And so it's almost like coming from a point of scarcity. It's like, okay, I want to get there, but I want to work that hard. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And his thought is you go all in and you go by 10 times, but you only focus on the things that are going to get you there. And so his thing is getting down for people to get down to the three things you do best, and you only do those things.
Mm.
We talked about that in the green room as far as you and your
Yeah.
business, right? You
Yeah.
know what you do best.
Well, it's a
Focus on
Carl
that.
Whiteism too. Yeah. Yeah, the acts of freedom. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so focusing on that. So that's the third book.
Yeah.
And then the fourth book is by John Maxwell, who, in my opinion, is one of the greatest educators on leadership. And that book is the five levels of leadership.
Mm.
And he talks about the five levels of leadership. And it's interesting because you can be at a level 2 leader with one person, and you can be at a level 3 leader with another person, and that's okay. But it's identifying what that looks like.
Mm,
And so that's the thing too, is we don't know what that leadership should look like. So you have to show people this is what those different levels are. This is what you're doing on this level, and this is how people are following you. If you want to get to
mm,
this level, this is the things you need, these are the things you need to do.
mm.
So those are the 4 books that I'm using. And it was just really one of those when I started thinking about, because I do a lot of, keynotes. So it's an hour. It's like, what can we move? What needles can we move in an hour?
Yeah.
And I'm an educator, that.
Yeah.
So I always want to be able to give them something that they're going to be able to take back and use in their business.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm excited because we do have I have a 4-hour workshop that we're doing. So we're dedicating 1 hour to each segments of the book.
So so this 4 hour workshop, let's say, who can go there? Is it, how do they,
No, it's a closed.
it's a closed thing?
It's a
Okay.
company. Yeah.
Yeah. The other events that you're doing though, are those also closed? Are they
Yeah.
company? Okay, cool. Are the companies, are they all mortgage, or are they different types of companies,
Yeah.
or
They're all mortgage. Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Huh. Are they big
Yeah.
national players? You don't have to tell me who they are.
Yeah, they're big national players. I'm
Mm,
doing one in Cincinnati for the FHLB of Cincinnati,
mm,
and they're a service provider for different community banks and credit unions within
mm,
Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee.
mm,
So they do an annual conference and bring all of their clients in. And so that is one that would be more public, but you have to be a member of them. But yes, like I think companies are really recognizing the need to invest in their leadership
mm-hmm,
and
mm.
help them grow.
Hey there, if you're loving the tip so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button and then click on the bell as well so you never miss out on more cool free tips coming your way. And also, would love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think or what you want to see next. Leadership is an interesting thing for me. I don't know. I don't, for me personally, I don't think of myself as one. You know what I
That's
mean?
and that's interesting
Yeah, I really, to me personally, I don't. I feel
that
like
you are a
I'm.
leader.
Mm, am
Yes.
I? Because I don't know. Like,
And anyone that's listening, please put in the comments if you think that Frank Garay is a leader. You are 100% a leader.
hmm,
And let's talk about that. I mean, when you had your Think Big, Work Small,
yeah, yeah, and
and you started that because you were a manager and you wanted to be able to what? Motivate
true. Yeah, that's
people.
true. Right.
That was leadership. And
Yeah.
one of the greatest strengths that you have
Hmm,
as a leader is that you don't just do as I say, and it's a matter of you do it.
hmm, okay.
You are a doing leader. So you set that example.
Hmm,
And oftentimes leaders who lead by doing don't recognize themselves as leaders,
hmm.
which
I
is
think
not
I fall into that boat. I think I'm more of an entertainer than a leader. But I don't know. Yeah, leadership is an interesting thing. It really, really is. But the one thing you brought up in the very beginning was the gentleman out of Dallas, I think he said, who you know his chapter was being a leader of one, right?
Yeah,
Being
Mike
able
Mills. Yep.
to lead yourself
Yeah.
essentially. And it made, and I, while you're still talking, I was thinking about that. And I thought, technically we, as a loan officer, when I hear the phrase leader, I feel like, or the word leader in the loan industry, I feel like, oh, that means I'm like you said, some sort of a branch manager or
Oh,
regional guy. And I'm trying to bring people along or whatever. But and then or I'm thinking that's who they are. I'm not that, right? I'm not that. But technically we are leaders because even with our clients, our realtor partners, right? We are leading them.
yeah.
I mean, so we have to have leadership skills to some degree, right, in this business because we are leading people. You know?
You're leading in your community.
Yeah.
You're leading with your referral partners. Um,
Yeah.
you're leading to be able to develop change.
Hmm.
You think about, which is an interesting conversation, home ownership. Um, and I think that's a thing as an industry we need to have more conversations about the importance of it, what it looks like, the value of it. And so that's an area you can be a leader in, is
Hmm.
to be able to provide education
Right.
around that. So anyone has the possibility of being a leader.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what that looks like. And when you're a leader, when people will follow you because they want to, not because they have to.
That's a good point. Right. Exactly. I guess that's kind of a defining moment as well
Yeah.
along the path of leadership. If you've got people that are glued to you, riveted because they want to be glued to you, riveted, that's a big difference than this is your leader, you will follow him. Now you pay attention and you follow. And
Yeah, it's a book I'm working on my own, influential leadership.
hmm,
And that's really it. You have an
mm,
influence,
mm,
and it doesn't have to be in a management way.
mm, mm. So if there's companies listening right now who, are like, yeah, yeah, this Ginger girl, maybe we need to get her in there. Maybe we need to have her help us out with some of this stuff. Like, what's the best way regarding your leadership coaching training? What's the best way for them to engage with you? To
I can just go to my site, gingerbell.net.
gingerbell.net.
Yeah, missed
Okay.
out on the .com years ago because it belonged to a clown. Seriously,
A clown?
Gingerbell.
Is it still active? Can you
No,
still go?
somebody bought gingerbell.com and it's for sale for, I think, upwards of $5,000. It's like,
Uh,
anyway, gingerbell.net. Or you can go to, if you can't remember that, just follow ginger.com, and that's my link.
okay. Well, we'll get them. We'll get them both in there. We should get you. We should get you on Breakfast Club. If we got you on, okay. So you've got a 4 hour workshop. And you're talking about how hard it is to even to get a convey a point across in an hour. How's 20 minutes sound? Can you
Yeah,
help us?
we can dense it down.
Can you get
Yeah,
us? Can you get us something in 20 minutes?
we could do a little series where we do, each book. Honestly, I think the book and the conversation, Frank, and then that's what people need. It's like you're not going to move a mountain,
Right.
you know, but if you get the little pieces and you get the path as far as how to do that, then you can slowly get there.
Mm, mm,
So yeah, I mean, absolutely. If you want to do a series, we could, start on in each book. I'm really excited about the books because it's not just, me and what I've said, it's, what other experts and how you can use that.
mm,
But it's working on those four things. And that's obviously, having the right goals, having the right habits, having all of those in place, being able to communicate with people, have respect for people, have that influence over people, which is the Dale Carnegie.
mm,
And then being able to, the 10 times is easier than 2 times.
mm,
It's focusing on what you should be focusing on.
mm.
So it's one thing to have the habits, but it's another to focus on what are the important things you need to be doing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then finally, obviously, leadership and what are those 5 levels
Yeah,
of
the
leadership.
levels and what level and yeah. Well, that's really good. That's interesting. I'm
Yeah,
glad we talked.
I am too. It's always good to talk to you.
Hey, before we kind of dive out of here, I do want to bring up the NAM thing though.
Yeah.
So what are you doing over at NAM these days?
So NAMD called me about a month and a half ago, and they had a couple of projects to be able to help them with their growth. And NAM, as you know, you and I have both been involved with NAM for a long time. Great organization. They do such an amazing job in helping our industry with lobbying, with different events, with education. And they don't do a really good job of tooting their own horn. I've talked about,
Hmm.
a long time. It's like, and so that's kind of my job is to be able to help them toot a little bit.
Got it.
And
Hmm.
so one thing we're working on is called the NAM Hive.
Hmm.
And the NAM Hive is a community. It's free to join. If you go to namhive.com, it's free to join. And the goal for the community is a resource center. And so we just had our first ambassador call today, actually. We had 40 people that were on the call, and it was wholesale lenders, non-QM lenders, we had vendors, we had educators. And so everyone's coming together and providing resources and tools to be able to help um, everyone, loan officers, brokers, vendors, just work together and come together. NAM has their NAM Young Professionals, which they have a monthly call, and so we're going to have some resources in there, and then we're starting a podcast for NAM that's called the NAM Podcast.
Hmm,
So we're starting that. So yeah. So the whole idea is just to grow in a positive way. Everyone helping each other.
I love it. I
Yep,
like it. Good for you. Good for them.
that's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Well, man, it's been so great to just kind of catch up with you here. It's been a
Oh,
minute. And we'll get you back over here and keep us posted. And again, so gingerbell.net or followginger.com is the way to reach out to Ginger. Yeah, if you got a company, it doesn't have to be mortgage either, right? It could be anything, but this matter of getting some leadership training certainly sounds like a good endeavor, right? Especially
fun.
especially in interesting times, right? We're in interesting times, so
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. So, well, Ginger, thanks, man. Thanks for
Hey,
tuning
thank you.
in. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's always good to see you. Thanks for
Hey,
all you do.
oh no, of course. Did I? Maybe I'm wrong. Did I see on social that you were hanging out with Megan at all? Was it you that was
Megan
Megan
Anderson.
Anderson? Did she
Yeah,
make it? Yeah, she made it up to your neck of the woods,
she
and then you
made
guys
it
got
to
to hang out for a
Oregon.
bit.
Yep, we did. She's in her van life. I think she's approaching 259
Oh
days.
no, I think she's pushing 280.
Oh, is it 280
I
now?
think she's at like 274 or something
Oh,
like
okay.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Did
yeah.
you get to
And
meet Snoop?
yes, oh my gosh. So
Oh,
Snoop Matt actually, she spent the night in my driveway because she didn't have a place before she headed to the Oregon coast. So I said, come hang out. So Snoop, I'll have to send you a picture. Snoop actually hung out with me, and she was working, recording a podcast. So I said, send Snoop in. So he hung out. Snoop is adorable. But we did a live meetup. And so
right. That's what I saw, and that looked so cool.
it was
And
so awesome. Yeah.
yeah, she was. I did an interview with her not too long ago. It was my second interview with her on her van life because I just find that
Yeah.
wildly curious, just like Josh Pitts and his catamaran.
Oh, I know.
But anyway, yeah, she said she wanted to do that. She's like, man,
Yeah.
I want to have these kind of casual get together kind of things, and
Yeah. And I
around the
think she's got
campfire kind of thing. I'm
Yeah,
like,
she
you
wanted the
got to do
campfire.
that.
It was like 95 degrees in Oregon. We did not have a campfire, but we did go to McMinimum's. We had an outdoor situation. We had a good group. She's doing another one in Olympia, and then she's going to come back. She's going to, I think, go up to Canada for a little bit. She said
Yeah,
she's going to come back through, but she is going to come through California
right.
before
Yeah,
she heads over to Vegas for NAM. So
yeah.
you'll have to coordinate with her to do a meetup
Yeah, well,
in
hopefully we can
Vacaville.
do that. Hopefully we can have some sort of
Oh, you definitely
get
need to.
together,
Yeah.
or whatever. That
Yeah.
would be fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd
you
be
gotta you gotta meet Snoop.
absolutely. I would love to meet Snoop.
Yeah,
Yeah, following Snoop has been just as fun as following Megan. So, you know.
they're both great. Yeah.
Well, great stuff, Ginger Bell. Thank you so much. Once again, guys, gingerbell.net or followginger.com. Connect with Ginger Bell, and we'll be seeing more of her soon. So appreciate you, Ginger. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, for the rest of you, catch us here next time in the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast. And don't forget to visit us every Monday through Friday at Loan Officer Breakfast Club, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time for 30 minutes of free loan officer coaching every day. Super fun, still going strong. Loan Officer Breakfast Club is a total blast, Ginger. It's still just kicking butt, and
I
it's
love
just
it.
really fun. It's really a good time. And for free, why not?
Why not?
Why not? Right? All right, catch you later. And for the rest of you, we'll see you next time. Adios.